Welcome to the Daily Dose of
Scatman's World.
Shlama. In this mini-series, we try to talk about what's on our mind. And, something's been on our mind lately. If you're in Pennsylvania, you already know what's happening. But, since a good chunk of my viewers aren't in Pennsylvania, I should add that a bill was passed, mostly by the Republican General Assembly, that makes miscarriage and abortion illegal. Straight up illegal. You can be fined for it now if you're a woman who has a miscarriage or an abortion. You have to file a fetal death certificate, which is like $40 fucking. And they don't give you it. You have to apply, which also costs money, which can be just so traumatic. I'm not even going to get into why that's psychologically damaging for a mother whose child is dead now. I'm not even going to begin that process. However, the governor said that he was willing to veto it, but that doesn't matter anymore. As, yeah, you've heard me right. A constitutional amendment was added through the PA General Assembly during our last primaries that will allow the General Assembly to override the governor's vetoes. This was made during the pandemic when our governor was doing, well, admittedly, some shady shit. But they never really specified what that can be used for, and this is one of those things. The General Assembly can override the governor's veto, basically bypassing the opinion of the people, and this can go into law. This will probably go into effect as soon as it's possible. I'm... I guess I'm lucky that I'm not a woman. That sounds awful. This should not be a thing. All of the arguments for why abortion should be illegal come down to, well, my sky god tells me no. There is no scientific argument against abortion. In fact, most of the arguments for abortion involve a heavy amount of science, because it's actually quite helpful. If you are unable to sustain the baby, you should not. It is your choice to give up. Like, the baby's not alive. It's not alive, my guys. Like, we know the basic biology. Like, this is literally like basic 9th grade biology. Yeah, there are things that are living that don't have a heartbeat, that don't have a brain. There are things that are... A fetus, for a good part of the pregnancy, is essentially just a clump of cells. I do hope people realize that. It's essentially a clump of cells. It's a parasite, if we're using technical terms. If we're using strictly technical terms. For majority of the pregnancy, a fucking fetus is a parasite. Isn't it ironic that these Republicans claim to love freedoms and don't want our government, they want small government, brother, but every time that they try to pass a bill, it's always government overreach. Like, the irony, it's just so apparent. Like, how can you claim to love freedom and love small government, yet every time you do something, it only furthers the power of Big Brother? This is Tanner Shell signing out with a Daily Dose of Shlama. If you liked this video, please consider supporting my Patreon. Link in the description. Fucking hell.